Good morning, my 4B friends. Happy Synchronous Day. Well, now that we've had our week to talk about Martin Luther King and do a little bit of social studies work, it's time to jump back into science. We're going to be finishing up this week talking about the sky and space, Earth, moon, sun, stars, and all of that crazy stuff that's happening when you shoot past our clouds up into the space. And so I know we've already talked a little bit about this when we first started talking about our science. And some of you, when we brought up our poster, even were able to tell us what you already knew about the way the Earth, the sun, and the moon work together to make our lives happen. So I know that we've already talked about that, but I want to dive a little bit deeper and really show you what's happening right now without you even realizing it. Because even though the Earth is actually spinning in a big circle and spinning in place right now, you can't tell because you're so tiny on the Earth, and that the big movements of the Earth are just so big we can't even realize it. So let's learn about that. Now, if you remember from the last time we talked, we said we made this poster. And we first said what we already knew about the daytime sky and the nighttime sky. And we talked about what it looks to us, how it turns dark, or maybe it's blue. There might be clouds in the sky, which make it rainy, cloudy, or snowy. And we even said that it starts to change colors because of the sun. So we noticed that already the sun has a big part in why it's day and it's night. And so we talked a little bit more about that. We said that the sun shines during the day and the moon comes out at night. Now, we did say that we can see the moon during the day, but it might be a little harder. And that's because the sun isn't shining on the moon right then. Huh? What was that? Yes, that's true. And I know a lot of you already remember that because we joked about it. The moon is this big rock in the sky. It's not a star. And so when we say that the moon shines at night, what we really mean is that the sun is sneaking past, even though it's working on being day on the other side of the world, it's sneaking past and shining on the moon so that we still have some light during the nighttime. And we said that when we face the sun, or when our part of the Earth faces the sun, it's daytime. But when we're not facing the sun, we're in darkness, and that's what we call nighttime. We said that the sun does a lot of things. It helps the plants grow, it helps keep us warm, it helps make sure that it's daytime or nighttime. The sun is doing a lot 24/7, whether it's helping half of the world make it daytime or whether it's shining on the moon to make us have some light during the night. In order to understand things like what this picture is showing you, we need to learn two big words. They're both R words, so we need to be able to tell the difference between them. So I have this little diagram here. So you can see this is an arrow that's going in circle. It's restarting, right? But this one is going around something big. So these each have their own special name, and that's what's happening right now out in the sky, out in space. The Earth is spinning, but in two different ways. Right now, the Earth is rotating. Now, rotating, if you want to say that to yourself, rotating or rotation. A rotation means that something is spinning in place. So it's standing still, but it's spinning in a circle without having to move around. That would kind of be like if I sat here in my swiveled chair and I didn't move my chair, but I spun around in a circle. Woohoo, look, I'm rotating. And every time the Earth is rotating in its spot, it's either facing the sun or it's not facing the sun. When it's facing the sun, that gives us bright light. It makes it daytime. Meanwhile, the back of the Earth, or well, the back to us, the other side of the world, is not getting any light. So it's nighttime there. But as the Earth spins, we start to have our sun setting we start to have our sun rising. Then it's daytime for the other side of the earth. While for us, we're busy sleeping off because it's nice and dark where we are. Then as we continue moving, we have our own sunrise. While the other side of the world, like China and Australia, they're having a sunset. And it keeps going on. Sunrise, sunset, daytime, nighttime. And that's why the earth, when it's facing the sun, either is lit up or dark. Right now here you can see it's nighttime in Asia, but over here it's daytime. Whereas here it's daytime in America and it's nighttime in Asia. All right, let's see. So this is the earth spinning on its own, but you can also see it's starting to spin around the sun. And that's what we call a revolution. Oh, can you say that one too? So we had rotation, which means rotating in a circle. Then we have revolution, which means to revolve around something. I bet you've heard about that. The earth revolves around the sun. Does that sound familiar? Now, while a rotation is spinning in place, revolving is spinning around something. Ooh, I guess I don't have much room behind my desk to do this. Try at home having a parent or a sibling stand still. They can be the sun. And now I guess I'll have a smaller friend. Now you, being the earth, you can travel around them. Woo. You can travel around your family member or your friend, and they're the sun while you're the earth. And it shows you how the earth is revolving around the sun. Rotation means to just spin in place, which the earth is doing, but it's also spinning in place while spinning around the sun. Isn't that insane? The earth is doing a lot right now, and the sun is helping it to make sure that we can get daytime and nighttime. So while we are rotating in place, we're also revolving around the sun. Check that out. And so when that happens, we're either getting sun right in front of us, or maybe it's only hitting us a little bit. You see how no matter what, this half of the world is being lit up. But do you see how it kind of looks like the earth is tilted on its side? Well, it is. The earth is tilted on something called an axis. That's a fun, fancy science word for basically like a line that you can draw to show what the earth is rotating on. So while the earth is revolving around the sun, it's either facing the sun or it's not facing. It's either closer, tilted, or it's tilted away. And that's what this is showing you. Right now, it's really tilted toward the sun here, but down here, it's further away. And that's how we get our seasons. If the sun is hitting you right on, it must be really hot there. That's why it's hitting places like Africa or Florida here. So it's really warm in those places because the sun is hitting it straight on. But up here, you can see it's harder. The sun has to reach further, and it might not be able to hit it right on. It might hit it on an angle and bounce off. Well, that's why it's winter in those places. Look, it's the North and South Pole. When the earth is rotating or revolving, it takes a lot of time. For the earth to spin in a circle, it takes one day, and that's why we have daytime and nighttime. But when it's going around the sun, it takes a whole year to go around the sun. And that's why on January 1st, we have New Year's, because it's a new year and a new lap we've started around the sun. That takes 365 days. And that's 1 year. It takes 1 year to go around the sun. And that's what causes our seasons. Because the earth is either getting a little bit of sun or a lot of sun, depending on where the rays are hitting it. I wanted to make sure that we talked a little bit more about revolving and rotations and what the sun and the earth are doing right now. So the sun is always going to be staying still, but the planets, they're going to be revolving around the sun. Meanwhile, what do you think's happening with our moon? Our moon is actually revolving around our Earth because it's our moon and not the other planets' moons. So it's kind of like a crazy hula hooping. You're the one staying still, and then the Earth's moving around you, but also the moon is moving around the sun and the Earth. Oh my gosh. It just is an endless amount of hula hooping. Well, my friends, I can show you as many stuffed animals as I want, but it still might be hard to understand the difference between rotating and revolving. So I have a video that I want to show you today. Now, when you open up the video, it will start at a certain part. You don't have to go all the way back to the beginning. I cut out all the boring mumbo jumbo. Check out the rest of the video, though, for a better picture of what's happening rather than Smokey, my little koala, trying to show you. Well, my friends, that's all I wanted to show you today. I hope you maybe knew some of this already, but I also hope that you're learning so many more new words and ideas that you could add to our poster board. I will see you later on this afternoon. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.